All right, Brandon Marshall, ding, 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 ding. Ryan Clark, go over there. All right, so I am athlete then, pivot. All right, I knew this moment was going to come.
Welcome to another episode. To our regular viewers, thank you for the support. We really appreciate. To our new viewers, don't forget to like and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So come on guys, let's like the video. So Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder addressed some comments made by their former I Am Athlete colleague, Brandon Marshall. While Clark chose to refer to Marshall as the other guy, Taylor not only made it clear who he was talking about, but also suggested that Brandon Marshall might be the biggest coward on the planet. He then said that a lot of people would agree that he's embarrassing himself. Taylor concluded by staring directly into the camera with a message for Marshall, saying, "I think what you need to do is handle your business and stop messing around." How this whole thing started is Brandon Marshall appeared on Funky Friday with Cam Newton, where he delivered his side of the story about what occurred prior to their split. Brandon Marshall claims he is in debt, $12 million worth of debt. He also claims that Fred Taylor was seeking a 25% share of I Am Athlete as the platform's valuation started to rise, which he disagreed. So this is what Marcellus Wiley was talking about, basically giving his take on the whole story.
Just didn't know when. So we are here now. All right, so the feud between Brandon Marshall and the former members of the I Am Athlete team out there has reignited, right? So we got Ryan Clark. Now he's on the pivot, obviously been on there for a minute with Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder, who obviously started off on I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall. Knowing all parties involved, Channing the least, but still knowing of him for sure. This is pretty interesting. Feel like I got some intel to provide. So Ryan Clark had to respond to Brandon Marshall, who went out there first and kind of threw the first shot. And called Ryan Clark corny. Okay. So now Marshall said he's been meeting with corporate brands and took some inspiration from rap beefs in handling the situation with Taylor and Crowder. I guess that means all publicity is good publicity. Is that what we're saying right here? Or are we going to stir up some stuff just to get some more attention? Now, look, y'all know how I feel about value, right? And value the right things and how long it takes for good things to get respected and recognized and noticed versus bad things. And I made a conscious choice to never show my bad side or my lesser side, even though I know that is a quicker way to success and greater success. In this society, this culture, it is. It just is, whatever. I take the slow route, you know what I mean? I take the turtle, the tortoise over the hare, all right? But it sounds like Brandon's getting some advice to do different, whatever. So he's questioning whether it's about money or is there something else to it. And the feud just escalates more and more. So what I want to do is set the table, not by my summation, but by their words. Let's hear Brandon Marshall talk about this situation first.
And then Ryan Clark, okay. So, they are super talented and we came together on a vision. And when it came to it, they saw an opportunity where they could make more money doing what they're doing, taking the blueprint and doing what they're doing. And they're doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
You know, like ideally, like the vision that I had when I talked about cigars and cars and Channing Crowder's outdoor show, whatever it was, that the pivot was supposed to be there. Like Ryan Clark, why I did this to Ryan Clark like that. For a year, I was talking to Ryan Clark about his podcast that he doesn't have time to do that no more because he got a lot of motion. He's doing a lot of things right now. Mm-hmm. But he had a podcast and I'm like, yo, bro, that could be on I Am Athlete. Do you own that or do ESPN own that? I own that. He was thinking about even open up House of Athlete in Arizona, right? So we're having these conversations for a year. When I got the announcement, I heard the announcement that, you know, they're going to go left and doing a pivot. Ryan Clark called me 10 minutes later, like, yo, bro, you know, I never told this part of the story, but like, yo, bro, I've been praying about this. My wife said this and that because our relationship, but like, I try to stay out of it, but I'm going to go do this with the pivot, blah, 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 blah. But for a year, I'm hitting you up like, yo, bro, like, bring your podcast to I Am Athlete. you coming to me about taking House of Athlete to Arizona to Phoenix. I put you on I Am Athlete, right? Not saying that Ryan Clark is Ryan Clark, right? So I'm not saying like I started, you know what I mean? I think he's talented. Little corny, but talented. Bro, you said it's Funky Friday, bro.
Keep it funky.
Okay,
But
cut that. Maybe not.
No, we're not gonna cut it.
Okay. Now that was the corny part. Right or wrong is not right. You know what I mean? It's not if Ryan Clark is corny or not to you, because there's no objective answer to that. I'm corny, so whatever. Some people think I'm not. Some think I am. Whatever. But Brandon needs to be careful if he's going to be truly respected for him coming out and trying to speak his truth, criticizing others in that process of just these one word like attacks. Shannon Sharp, whack, Ryan Clark, corny, and not really substantiating that and really supporting that with anything else. Plus, whack and corny are not going to be the words that gets anybody to say, yeah, you're right. They're just going to say, okay, and if that. So just, word to the wise. If you're going to call somebody out, especially name calling's weak. But if you're going to do it, you got to build it up with a greater argument than that. So maybe we could leave that part out. But we're not going to leave out what Ryan Clark said in response to Brandon Marshall. Let's listen to that.
What I do know is when he wanted to be the second or third person to get a contract to do TV while he played, he came to the first one. And I had that conversation with him. And when we started and we got together, I told y'all very early, I was like, look, we still have a working relationship. Mo Wells, who's no longer with him because of some of the same bad business practices, was there. I was gonna go train the DBs. I said, so I would like to tell him. We were still working on our business end, and out of respect for my new colleagues, my new friends, my new partners, my new teammates, I said, I'll tell him when it's time. When it got to that time, I called him, he didn't answer. I called back, left a message, news breaks, whatever, we finally speak. And when we spoke, I was very candid with him. You haven't done anything to me. The business practices or what you have with my 3 new partners is the business practices you have with them. Right. Does our relationship need to change? And he said, I just need to gather my thoughts. I'm kind of taken back right now, whatever. I said, I understand that. This is a lot, no problem. And so from there, he kind of tells me he's hurt and all those things. I said, I understand. I was like, look, I'm still supposed to come down and train the DBs at House of Athlete. Do I need to find you somebody else? Because I don't want to leave those young men hanging. Mm-hmm. I think it was the Super Bowl in LA.
Yep.
You guys are splitting to go one way. I was heading back to another spot. So I was walking away and Alicia was close. And obviously at this point, she didn't really want to be face to face with him. But that was Alicia, and I understood that Alicia and he had whatever, but I didn't, right? And so this was one of the lies he told on me. He said I walked by him. I ain't walking by no fucking body.
I watched you, Dap.
But so I walk up to him, and I look him in his eye, and I shake his hand. Because to me, there's an opportunity to tell me we are no longer cool, or we have a problem. Whatever it is, I'm comfortable with it, but I want to talk about it like a man because, man, we are grown adults with children. We can't walk around beefing. We can't walk around fighting. Let's walk around with an understanding of how we'll move around each other so everybody's respectful, or at least everyone's aware. Walk up to him, shake his hand. I think everything's good.
Okay. All right, so we got them both out there, right? They both threw their punches, I guess, right? Counter puncher and Ryan Clark, because he didn't start this. He didn't want to go here. But then Brandon obviously was the power puncher. Corny. All right, let's do it. Brandon to Ryan, the first sound. I know what anger looks like. And angry doesn't always show itself with an angry face. To live in a reality that you don't desire builds anger. It could come out smaller steps, frustration, come out in different ways, but it leads to the point where you're angry. You just don't like what you have. You just don't like how it is. And we all suffer from that, so raise your hand, okay? But in the process of learning from this, because once again, I will use them as an example, but not make an example of them. I knew this moment was going to happen sooner or later. Why? Because war can't be avoided, just postponed. They postponed this as long as they could, and maybe there's more to get out, more shots to be taken. But war can't be avoided, just postponed. And we're here now. So where we are is Brandon, I'm sure. Think about this if you're Brandon Marshall. You created not only in concept, in content, but in infrastructure, something called I Am Athlete. And it's real. It's a real material thing with staff, employees, and you had something. The hardest thing is not the idea, it's the execution. Everybody got good ideas. Everybody homie got a great idea. Can we execute on that? If not, it's not a great business. You had a great idea that you executed that turned into a great business. And then taking them hits. And worse, some of those key principal characters and people involved to bringing that to life have taken what they had with you elsewhere and still flourished. Ooh, you mad at that? You gotta be. I don't give a damn who you are. Right? I mean, a dude get traded from a team and be mad at the other team if they still winning without him. So you trying to tell me that this doesn't get to you? It gets to you. It's okay.
What do you think about this? Please drop a comment. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Thank you.